Assalamu alaikum, I'm Abdul Haseeb, and today what concerns us is starting with why. It's not that why are we starting, it's just that great leaders start with why. And great leaders are the people who inspire people to act, and the ones who actually are capable of this ability to inspire others, they also give the others something else. That's called a purpose, a sense of belonging. Why? Question is why? Why do they give them the purpose, the sense of belonging? It's just that they have very little incentive, any external incentive of any benefit to be gained. That's why they start with a why. Now, there are two ways that human behavior can be manipulated. And the first is the keyword. It can either be manipulated or either you can inspire. You can either manipulate people like puppets using the strings, or you could inspire them by your character, by your personality, by your whys. By starting with a why. Although peer pressure, there will be a lot of pressure, but there's a common pressure, peer pressure. And why is that there? It's not because that always the experts, always the good thinkers, they're always right, always the criticizers, they're always right. It's not that. It's just that it is confirmed that we fear that we may be wrong. And a surety is this, that we fear that we may be wrong. Most businesses today, they make decisions. They make many decisions. Why? Because they're based less worst on an incomplete and more worst on a completely flawed set of assumptions of what's driving their business. They make assumptions. Not flawed, it's completely flawed assumptions. And why is that? Because they do not start with why. Let me tell you one thing. People won't buy what you do. They'll buy why you do it. They'll buy it, that's why. And why is that, once again? It's because your whys are the reason for others to buy. And your whats are the tangible proof of that belief. And by why, what do I mean? I do mean your cause, I do mean your belief. I do mean your purpose. I do mean that. But why do you even get out of bed in the morning? Why do you not get out of bed in the night? Why? Why is this your company? Why have you started this business? Why are you working right now? Why should anyone even care? Right? There can be various whys. But the point over here is you just have to start with one. Start with the start. Because no one will come to you of what you do. There's another reason. Yourself. You know, there's always a competition to go further than the other organizations, than the other businesses, right? If they're going successful, then you do not need to ask yourselves that what do I need to do to compete them? This is not the correct question to ask yourselves. The correct questions instead is that why did I start what I'm doing right now in the first place? Why did I start this? Then you'll get that motivation. Then you'll know the reason that why did you start what you're doing right now at the first place. And people do seek for this purpose, the sense of belonging, because we are drawn by leaders, we're drawn by different organizations who are able to communicate to us what they believe. Whatever they believe, they communicate it to us. And companies who fail to communicate what they believe, companies who fail to give a sense of why to the team, then what's the next perception? The next perception is only the what. Now, this is a fundamental rule that every organization, every businessman knows on the planet that what they're doing. What they're doing. There's a positive sign that people also know how to do what they do or what they're doing, right? They know how to do what they're doing, but a very few number of organizations and people know that why they're doing what they're doing. Very few. They know very little about why they have started it. Why is what is in process? Why is it there? It should have not been, it should have been, maybe at an earlier stage, maybe at a later stage, maybe it is right now. It's good, but why is it? That's the point. And people do express that. People do express the sense of purpose, the sense of believing. Why? When you're a great leader, you trust in your guts. You trust in your guts and you communicate what you believe. Because we always trust. Trust only emerges when people have a common belief system, common values between them. They exchange common beliefs, they exchange common values. Only then trust emerges. And when there's a sense of why in it, a loyal, developed relationship is what you get. That's all that you get. And there are no whys in it. It's just that you had to do it. A sense of why is always important. We are drawn towards the leaders, we are drawn towards the organizations, even though if they fail to give us the sense of why, they can give us a motivation. They can give us a motivation that has to be something else than our job, something else to work at, something bigger to work at. And then those workers will find themselves looking for the why. They will find the why themselves. It's important for them to earn a sense of belonging. It's important for them. It's just that, for example, if we see that the Apple company, or initially what it was called the Apple Computer Inc., right? Inc. But after 2007, it became the Apple, right? What changed it? Why did it change? Let's just take this as an example. It actually doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. It's just that the perception, the thought of Apple, the people at Apple, what they thought of themselves when they only had the word computer with them. They had a limited thought. They did not have why not just Apple. The name doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. It's just the thought of the people. How they limit themselves only to the computers, and now you can see the electronic media, the electronic devices they've produced have reached the globe all around. And we need this. We certainly need this. Why do we need it is all upon you. It's your answer to find out, because everyone has a different why. Everyone knows what they have to do. That's a good sign that you know how to do it. But why you have to do it, it's the difficult part. And when there's a fuzzy why, it's often more difficult. Not even more, it is difficult. It is difficult that the loyalty, that the growth, that the maintenance stays the same. The success stays original. Now, I do not mean that the why isn't important. The why certainly is important for success, but it isn't the only thing that is required to be successful, right? It isn't the only thing that you can write capital WHY posters all around and that would be success. But it is the only thing that can maintain lasting success and give a mixture and blend of innovation and flexibility. It is the only thing that can maintain you. And you need to be a leader for that. A leader of yourself. Even if you don't have a team under you, you have to be a leader of yourself. And that's no different. If you're already a leader, these symptoms won't seem peculiar. That you win hearts before mind, that you understand art before science, that you start with why. Thank you.